Hello, through you. In this video, we're going to figure out how to fill in this table. Essentially, what we need, we've been given a few parts of it later on, and we need to fill in total cost, fixed cost, variable cost, marginal cost, total revenue, marginal revenue, and profit. I want you to think about this maybe like a puzzle. Okay, so we've got a few of the pieces, and we can figure out the rest. Just need to go ahead and do that. So given some information here. It says it's a competitive firm, which means it's operating under perfect competition. All the products are the same, and we're selling them at the same price. We're given that price. That price is $13 per unit. So just to fill in a couple of formulas here, total revenue is going to be price. It's too big. Price times quantity. Make that smaller. That's your total revenue formula. These are good formulas to write down in your notebook somewhere. Keep them in a document somewhere. Price times quantity. Okay. Marginal. Anytime you see marginal, it means change or the rate of change. So this is going to be the formula for this is the change in total cost divided by the change in quantity. I'll make that a little smaller. Now the change in quantity you can see here, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 is always 1. So this denominator part on this problem is just going to be 1. So it's really just the change in total cost, which we don't have yet, but we will. We haven't given this, so we know that the change in total cost from here to here is 9. So we're told that. There won't be a marginal cost or marginal revenue at 0 because there's no such thing as a -1. So we have nothing to compare it to. So you can forget about that. And then I'll get to that in a second. Anyway, so it's change in total cost divided by change in total in quantity. Over here, it's change in total revenue, which we just had there, divided by change in quantity. However, just again, it's going to be divided by 1. Okay, so and then profit is going to be total revenue minus total cost. Over here, average total cost. Average total cost is total cost divided by quantity. Average variable cost is variable cost divided by quantity. And there's another formula that you can use here. So total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. So you can kind of like write that here. It's this equals this plus this. So that's kind of helpful because not necessarily in this problem, but in another problem, you might see something like you might get average total cost, and we can know that it's average fixed cost plus average variable cost. All of that together. Okay. All right. So we already can fill in some of this. Do this with purple, I guess. So total revenue is price times quantity. So if we sold 0 units times 13, it would be 0. 1 unit times 13 is 13. 2 units is 26. 39. 40. 40. No, 52. And 65. And now we have the total revenue column filled in. Marginal revenue is the change from here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here. We don't really have to do too much math on that. We can actually just see it. It's 13. And that's because under perfect competition, the price equals marginal revenue. So that's kind of a thing you can remember. So in this problem, marginal revenue is 13. Okay, so 13, I guess I'm going to make this bigger, 13, 13, 13, all the way down. Okay, so the, I guess, quote unquote, harder part. All right, so variable cost is, what that means is that's the cost that changes when we produce more units. So if we don't produce any, our variable cost is actually 0. Okay. which means that the total cost is only fixed cost when we produce zero. This is known as shutting down in economics. And for average total cost, we're not going to have an average total cost or an average variable cost at zero because we'd be dividing by zero and get an undefined answer. But we do have this. Now, since we can sort of rearrange stuff here, so average total cost formula is total cost divided by quantity. So we know some of this. We know average total cost is 27. You just fill this in. You can probably do this in your head. 27 and then divided by 1. And so this leaves us with total cost. And so that has to be 27. So the total cost here is 27. All right. Now, we know that the difference between whatever this number is and this number is 9, because that's the additional total cost. So I can actually subtract 9. That gives us the total cost right here. So that's 18. Okay. Now, since this is 0 and this plus this has to equal this, the fixed costs are in fact 18. Okay. So that the fixed costs by definition do not change. So that means all the way down, our fixed costs are going to be 18. Kind of missed on that there. And you can see kind of the way I'm doing this, you could totally do this in a spreadsheet. So Excel, Google Sheets. I'm choosing to do it by hand, but you could certainly do that. In fact, on another screen, I've already done that. So if I can't see it, but I'm looking at what I did before I started the video. Okay, so now we've got a lot here. We've got we now know what the average variable cost is, which we can fill in, and we know that it's this minus 18 gives us our average variable or our regular variable cost, and so our regular variable cost for that first one is 9. Okay. Now it means our average variable cost is 9 divided by 1, and so that means it's 9. All right. You can do the same thing right here. So 16, fill in 16 here, and then 2 here, rearrange. So it's really 16 times 2. Another way you can do all this is if you take whatever your average total cost is, multiply it by quantity, you're de-averaging your total cost, and you get that answer. So this would be 32. 32 minus 18 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Okay. And the marginal cost is the difference between going from here to here, or you can just go from here to here. It doesn't either way, so it's 5. You can see right there. All right, now we've got our average variable cost. So we're going to do similar to what we're doing here. Take our average variable cost, and we're going to de-average it. That gives us our variable cost, or sometimes called total variable cost. So 5 times 3 is 15. 4 times 550 is 22. And $8.40 times 5 is 42. Okay. Now we're rolling here. So now, since we know that total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost, we're going to add these together, which I've already done prior to talking to you. So it's 33, 40, and 60. And now average total cost, 33 divided by 3 is 11. 40 divided by 4 is 10. And 60 divided by 5 is 12. And if you don't have those in your head, you can just plug them into a calculator or a spreadsheet, no problem. All right, so our marginal cost, we're going to come back over here. You can either use this variable cost column because it's what changes, or it's what causes the change in the total cost column, either one. So This right here is just 1. This right here is 7. This right here is 20. Okay. Now the last thing we need to fill in is profit. So it's total revenue minus total cost. So we're going to look at this column, which is 0, minus our total cost, so that is negative 18. Total revenue, 13, minus total cost, 27, and that is, oh wait, what am I, total revenue? Oh yeah. Sorry, 13. 13 minus 27 is minus 14. I was looking at the next column. Some didn't seem right. 26 minus 32 is minus 6. 39 minus 33 is positive 6. You don't have to put the positives if you don't want to. 52, that's plus 12. And the last one, we're still making a profit. We're still making 5. Okay. So what quantity will this firm produce and why? So you got the quick and easy answer. You can look at the profit here. Well, it's not quick because I had to fill out the whole table, but look and see where we made the most profit. Okay, and that's 12. So the answer is 4 because it makes the most profit. That is not the answer that this question wants, though. This question wants you to say that this firm will produce to where its marginal revenue equals marginal cost. Or you could say it like to the last unit where their marginal revenue is higher than their marginal cost. So we're just going to compare these two columns. We'll compare this column and this column. So look at the first unit. Are we going to produce the first unit? It's 13 is the marginal revenue. Marginal cost is 9. We're going to go ahead and produce that one. 13, marginal cost is 5. We're going to produce that one. 13, marginal cost is 1. We're going to produce that one. We're going to produce every time that marginal revenue is higher than marginal cost because then we're adding the profit. 13, 7. And then this last one, I'm using opposite colors here, but 13 and 20, so this is no. Don't want to produce that last one. So you could also say 4 because it's the last unit before marginal cost exceeds marginal revenue. How much profit or loss will a firm be making? So it would be 12. We're just reading that off the table. Is the market in long run equilibrium? Why or why not? So long run equilibrium is a special case where there's no incentive for firms to drop out of the market or enter the market. So under perfect competition, everybody can enter. So what we're really looking for is a case where marginal revenue, which is the same as price, I should probably write it that way, price equals marginal revenue equals marginal cost equals average total cost because nobody's making a profit. We are not at that situation. Okay, so this firm is making a positive profit, therefore you're not at long run equilibrium. You could say it that way. In the short run, what price will the firm break even? So what we're looking for here is where does the price equal average total cost. So we're just going to look at see where the minimum, I guess you could say minimum. Where's the minimum of average total cost? So minimum of average total cost is where it is the least, and that would be 10. So 10 is the break-even price, we would say. At what price for the firm shut down? So the shutdown rule says that the firm's going to shut down whenever the price gets any lower than the minimum of average variable cost. So we're going to look for the average variable cost. What's the lowest number you see there? It's 5. And so the price is 5. The quantity there would be 3. It's not asking for that. It's asking for the price. So that's the explanation. You would just say that the price equaling the minimum of average total cost is going to be 10 at 4 units. That would be a break-even price. And then firm will shut down when the price gets any lower than 5 because that's the minimum of average variable cost.